Hello people and welcome back to the RDF Tactics YouTube channel. My name is RDF. Today's video we have a very exciting tactical analyst. We're going to have some help from OneFootball with the analyst as well, providing the stats, and of course we are going to recreate the tactic in Football Manager. But before we get stuck into it, check this out. I'm proud to announce that the RDF Tactics YouTube channel has teamed up with OneFootball. It's a great footballing app. If you haven't tried it out before, then make sure you do. It's free, so why not? You have nothing to lose and the link is in the description below. My personal favourite thing about the app is receiving the latest news, transfer rumours, tracking live scores, but also and of course getting match stats so I can make videos just like this one. There's a video section as well. It's a pretty cool app where you can watch football highlights, historic moments, and even post or pre-match conferences. I'm currently using the app to receive news on my favourite team, as you have the option to do so. It's a really good app to get your daily football updates and football news. So give it a go. It's completely free and I promise you, you won't look back. And remember, the link is in the description below. Since taking over in December 2017, Erik Hag has been a revelation at Ajax. In fact, it would be difficult for anyone to do a better job. The Dutch manager scraped Ajax back into the title race in his first season in charge, only missing out by 4 points. Since then, he has won the Eredivisie and gotten his team to the UEFA Champions League semi-final and now looks set to win the league all over again. This season, they've won 81% of their matches, sitting 11 points clear at the top of the table. So with their fantastic performances and intriguing tactics along the way, here is the tactical analyst of Erik Hag's Ajax in 2020-21. Erik Hag has built a legacy of an impressive 2018-19 UEFA Champions League run that saw the team reach the semi-finals for the first time since 1997. Although many of those players have now departed, the tactics have stayed relatively the same. Ajax play what some people would describe as a 4-3-3, however, it looks more like a 4-2-3-1 in practice. The central midfielder of the three is far more likely to join the attack or maintain a higher position than being the pivot in front of the defence. Donny van der Beek held that responsibility for most of Ten Hag's time in charge. Since his move to Manchester United, that role has fallen to Moroccan midfielders Zakaria Labiad or Davy Klaassen. On either side, the attacking midfielder is paired with two men who have greater defensive responsibilities and also offering something very different to the team in and out of possession. The right central midfielder is typically more of a box-to-box player, previously Lasse Schöne and now Davy Klaassen if not playing further ahead, while the left central midfielder has been the one with a bit more poise and class in possession. First Frenkie de Jong and now the next big thing in Dutch football, Ryan Gravenberch. The midfield three's varying movements is never sticking to the typical positions of a number 6, number 8 and a number 10 is probably one reason why most classify Ajax formation to be a 4-3-3. This fluidity is imperative to their success and, as will be discussed, makes them more tactically complex. It has also been the most imperative to the team's success over the years, linking the excellent build-up from the defenders to the dangerously fluid attacking front three. Speaking of the front three, they've been absolutely on fire since the arrival of Sebastian Haller. Haller never worked out at West Ham, but has proven himself in the Eredivisie since his arrival. The Ivorian has scored 7 goals with 5 assists in his 12 matches, adding a target man presence to a team that often lacked a true number 9 in the past. Dusan Tadic has frequently played as an unorthodox centre forward during his Ten Hag's time in charge, but he's now gone back to a more natural position on the left wing, helping his goal and assist tally reach insane heights with 26 goals involvement in 27 matches. 21-year-old Anthony has also been a positive addition to the team, having arrived from Sao Paulo for the 2021 campaign. The Brazilian forward has scored 8 goals with 8 assists in the league so far, but has gone off the boil since the arrival of Haller. Instead, it's been another Brazilian who's picked up the slack, as David Neres has now picked up 7 goal involvements in the last 9 games. At the back, Erik Hag has developed a bit of an odd system, where it's almost become a requirement for the centre-backs to be capable of shifting into defensive midfield. Lisandro Martinez, Edson Alvarez and Daley Blind are all capable of playing in both areas of the field and have been 3 of the top choices at the back. However, Alongside Daley Blind, 21-year-old Per Schuurs is another favourite at the back, firmly establishing himself in the team this year after making 10 appearances last season. Nicolas Tagliafico has maintained his place on the left, while Noussair Mazraoui has come back into the fold after losing a starting berth to Sergiño Dest last season. But those are the players within the system. Now let's get into more of how this 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 system comes to life in such a unique way under Ten Hag. As would be expected of a team that is far and away the best in the league, Ajax have a strong desire to keep possession of the ball and play out from the back. Unsurprisingly, no team has kept more possession, completed more passes, or a higher percentage of their passes in the Eredivisie. Daley Blind is often the orchestrator for their moves and the one that all others look to get on the ball in the build-up's initial stages. However, Ryan Gravenberch is starting to step in Frankie de Jong's shoes and will often drop into Blind's left or right, remaining nearby as the two combine and look to advance up the field. Lisandro Martinez and Per Schuurs are also very capable with the ball at their feet, aiding in Ajax's desire to play out from the centre-backs. But as evidenced by their 85 goals in 27 matches, Ajax don't just look to keep possession for the sake of it. Instead, their build-up is systematic in building opposition down. They can build up in various ways to varying degrees of width, depth and patience as they look to create the exact right pockets of space to advance as a unit. Other than second place PSV and Vitesse, all Eredivisie teams favour a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. This allows Ajax to operate with a relatively similar set of principles when playing out from the back match to match. Playing against a 4-2-3-1 would likely be their preferred choice to play against, as it can become easier for the team to create a 4 versus 2 structure at the bottom of the pitch that they enjoy. This 4 versus 2 shape can involve either the goalkeeper at the base or a second central midfielder at the top, as the number 6 drifts wide alongside the two centre backs. Since most 4-2-3-1s press in a 4-4-2 shape, Ryan Gravenberch in particular is often afforded time and space to receive the ball in between the lines of the opposition and drive the ball forward. The opposition central midfielder cannot push to mitigate this issue, as Ajax has two other central midfielders that warrant detailed attention. What's more is now that with a target man in Seb Haller, Ajax can also take a more direct approach when they want, knowing they have a player capable of holding up play and bringing in others to the mix. In all phases of possession, including the build-up, it's also important to know that Ajax play very short, quick passes on the ground with few touches in between each passes. Further up the pitch, they will often use a zigzag shape to exploit the wide areas through these one-touch combinations, with a slight edge to the left side where Blind and Tagliafico will operate. Ajax will often attempt to overload one side of the pitch in a 4 versus 2 situation in the zigzag shape pictured. By maintaining this stagger shape, Ajax can cause chaos for the opposition in stopping them from marking or tracking back the quartet's movement. Ajax left centre-back may be unable to find a central midfielder with the first pass, but by going to the fullback instead, space becomes available to continue the move. Once the central midfielder is on the ball, the opposition right-back has a tough decision to make. If they pressure the ball, space opens for a left winger, and if they stay with the left winger, the central midfielder then has time and space to advance and drive forward at the box with speed. The strategy of overloading one side of the field is particularly useful against teams that operate in a low to mid block, as it forces the opposition to adapt their structure and abandon their rigid positions. Ten Hag's centre-backs will often come close together on the same side in these moves, as the opposite fullback and central midfielder will remain high and wide for switches of play. Daley Blind's excellent ability in possession will frequently overlap his left central midfielder and engage higher up the pitch in attacking moves. This makes it even more difficult for the opposition to adjust, as the forward responsible for tracking Daley Blind typically won't actually track his movements up the field, allowing Ajax to have another free player in possession. With this variety to which the team can play out from the back through the creation of diamonds in a 4 versus 2 structure and simultaneously through overloads on one side of the field, Ten Hag's men have no issue playing out from the back and breaking down their opposition. Ajax are one of the most exciting attacking teams in Europe. This isn't just down to the sheer volumes of goals that they score, but the manner in which they score goals and create chances. Ajax's 1-2 touch play continues beyond just the build-up, as the team frequently uses a variety of layoffs and bounce passes in the final third. Their players will repeatedly receive their ball with the back to goal, drawing out defenders with them as they come to meet the pass. That player will often then play it back to the one that passed to them as the new space becomes available for a third man to advance into. These layoffs are essential to the way Ajax attack and can be found in nearly every goal they've scored this season. Another crucial element to their ability to combine in the final third involves positional rotation. Since the width they desire can be maintained via the fullbacks, the wingers frequently invert and drift inside. Hag Ajax was known to be a master of the art during his time at the club. Dusan Tadic also has a fantastic reputation as a creator from central areas. This means that the movement of the wingers and outside central midfielders remains very fluid, constantly rotating, creating chaos for the opposition. If, for example, a central midfielder cannot receive a pass due to diligent covering from the opposition, a winger can drift inside to take up that position as the central midfielder moves away. This movement draws the covering player with the central midfielder, allowing the winger to receive the ball in the same space as the midfielder once stood. As a result, the fluidity of the movement between the wingers and central midfielders allows new space to constantly be created in between the lines, even if none appears to be available at first. The drifting inside of the wingers also allows for the fullbacks to make their way up the field and aid the team's attack. The league leaders have made more crosses per game, 23, than any other team in the league. But rather than the fullbacks being the ones doing all the crosses, they're often involved in the pass before the cross, as a player like Tadic or Antony delivers from wide. Finally, when Tadic plays as a number 9 instead of out wide, Ajax have an extra man to use in their positional rotations, wide overloads and even in the build-up, as the Serbian floats around the pitch as he pleases. Ten Hag used this to his advantage to a great extent in the Champions League run back in 2018 and 19. Now that they have a generally great centre forward, this may change, but in the past, Ten Hag might have utilised his diamond in the rough in different ways dependent on the size and stature of the opposition. Not only does this demonstrate great tactical flexibility from the Dutch manager, but also a deep understanding of his players and how to get the best out of their attributes to benefit of the team. Although what Ajax accomplish in possession and attack remains most impressive, they are also an excellent defensive unit. Ajax have conceded just 20 goals in their 27 league matches so far, contributing to an outrageous goal difference of plus 65. In the likes of Blind and Tagliafico, they have very sound ball winners, but much of the defensive structure actually comes as a direct result of what they attempt to accomplish in attack. Due to their attempts to overload on one side and play in close proximity, they are often well set up to win the ball back right away and start their attacks. The team also ensures that through all of their positional rotation, they never become unbalanced. For example, if Daley Blind darts up the field, Ryan Gravenberch may cover his position, and Nicolas Tagliafico may even stay back rather than bursting up the field himself. This is a mechanism for counter-pressing, essentially how the team set up to defend if they lose the ball. Ajax also press aggressively to win the ball back immediately after losing it. This press is often geared towards the movement of the ball than the opposition player's movement, although both are important. This means that they often swarm the player in possession like a pack of bees, particularly when the ball is close to the touchline. If they fail in winning the ball, their shape will again resemble more of a 4-2-3-1 than a 4-3-3, as Labia plays in front of the midfield pivot. In this shape, they remain compact, stopping passes into central areas and looking to force their opposition out wide. When they succeed in doing so, they will use the touchline as an extra defender and reignite their aggressive press. For the concluding thoughts, Erik Ten Hag has revolutionised Ajax into being one of Europe's most exciting teams. His side may be unlikely to reach the UEFA Champions League semi-final again anytime soon, but blowing the Eredivisie away is still a massive accomplishment for any manager. Further, the fact that the team plays such an intriguing style of football makes Ten Hag himself one of the most sought after managers in world football. For now, Ten Hag is all in on the project he started at Ajax a little over 3 years ago and has them flying on all cylinders. But now the analyst has been wrapped up, we are now going to go into Football Manager to check my replication of the Erik Ten Hag tactic. It did very well in the Eredivisie, but how well did we manage to do in the Champions League? And how well did the likes of Tadic, Antony, David Neres and Haller do? Let's check. So here we are, RDF's Ten Hag 4-2-3-1 Ajax. In goal, we do have the sweeper keeper on the support duty. He has no instructions but take more risk, which is already encoded in him. Both fullbacks are wing-backs on the support duty. They're instructed to take more risk, cross aim to the far post and close down more. Two centre-backs, both of them being ball-playing defenders. The left-sided one has dribble more, just an attempt to get him further up the pitch and try to overlap the deep-lying playmaker. His defensive partner is a ball-playing defender with no added instructions. The double pivot, we have one deep-lying playmaker on the support duty. He's instructed to pass it shooter, keep things simple and play side to side, also with the ability to switch the ball. He's instructed to stay wider, also trying to create that overload on the left hand side whilst closing down more. The segundo volante, he's instructed to pass it shorter, take more risk, dribble more, close down more and tackle harder. The reason why I'm using the segundo volante is to try and get that box to box feel that I covered in the analyst. Sandwiched between the attacking trio, we have the advanced playmaker on the attack duty. He's instructed to get further forward so he can be support for the target man and also run from his position. He's got to leave his position looking for pockets to collect the ball as our advanced playmaker. On the left hand side of our attacking trio is going to be the Dusan Tadic role, the inverted winger. He's instructed to pass it shorter, take more risk, cross more often and run from his position. Whilst the right side of the attacking trio is the inside forward and his only instruction is to pass it shorter. Finally, up top, we have our target man. He's the target man on the attack duty. He has no added instructions. He doesn't need any. He will score you goals. Ask Sebastian Haller. But for the team instructions, for the mentality, we are on positive. You know what? I actually believe all my videos, all my tactics, I've used a positive mentality. For me, it's just the go-to. I'm very comfortable with that mentality. It just provides very nice balance. But for the attacking width, we set to fairly wide. For the approach play, we are going to focus down the left and focus down the right. Why? We are aiming to get overloads on each flank. We want to get the 4 versus 2 situation. So when we are focusing on the left or the right, we are making the attacks on those flanks more intense. To say, for example, the wing back has the ball, then the deep line playmaker will also shift to the left hand side. Hopefully the ball playing defender will shift to the left hand side alongside the inverted winger who's also on the left hand side, so that can possibly make it 4 players all on one side of the pitch. If the ball playing defender isn't the one shifting to the left hand side, then the advanced playmaker who's running from his position in order to collect the ball can also be seen shifting over to the flank in order to receive the ball. So that is the reason and theory behind focusing the play down each flank. And also, which is a given, we are going to be playing out from the defence. The passing directness is set to much shorter and the tempo is set to much higher. We are trying to encourage that one-touch pass, very short passing but at a very quick tempo, but also we want to advance up the pitch. Again, we're not just holding possession for the sake of it. In the final third, the only instruction there is to work the ball into the box. When the possession has been lost, we are going to counter press to try and win the ball back immediately. But when the possession has been won, we are going to hold our shape. We aren't going to advance too quickly. We want to try and build up again, trying to overload, create numerical advantages all over the pitch. In order to do so, I feel that we need to hold our position in the system. The goalkeeper, when he's in position, he's going to take short kicks and distribute it to the left side, the centre back, which in real life mostly is Daley Blind. When the team is out of possession for the defensive shape, we are going to be using the offside trap. We have a standard line of engagement alongside a much higher defence line. We do want to press and we want to press high, but when we have periods without the ball, we do also want to remain compact, and I wanted to reduce the vertical space, so that is again the reason and the theory behind me using the standard line of engagement but the much higher defence line. The defensive width is set to force the opposition out wide, so we want the opposition to go out wide, also with the touchline being the extra defender. For the marking and tackling, we aren't using any tighter marking. The pressing intensity is set to extremely urgent with prevent short goalkeeper distribution. Now, if you want to make this tactic more effective, then I would suggest you use get stuck in alongside a higher line of engagement. That is, of course, if you want to make this tactic more effective, but that does also add extra risk. So that's the tactic wrapped up. We are now going to go into the training side of things because that there is very important. But we're also going to see the squad stats, just the stats from the squad, to see who were the top goal scorers in Ajax, who was the highest assist in Ajax, and all of that good stuff. So for the training, when it's just one match during the week, on the Monday it's all about transitional press, possession and team bonding. Tuesday, defending from the front, ball retention. Wednesday, playing from the back and the match practice. Thursday, chance creation, match tactics, teamwork. Friday, attack and movement. Then the matches on Saturday for Sunday's recovery and match review. When there's two matches during the week, it's fairly similar. On the Monday is ball retention, chance creation and team bonding. Tuesday is all about the teamwork. Wednesday we have our match. Thursday we're going to recover from the match. We're also going to do a little review on that match. Friday, teamwork. Saturday is the match again before Sunday, recovery and match review. So that's the training. We're now going to look at the Ajax squad stats before ending this video. For the results in the Eredivisie, as we can all see, Ajax won the league. We played 34, we won 30, which is outrageous. We drew only once, losing 3 times. A goal difference of plus 72 and 91 points. Sebastian Haller was our top goal scorer for Ajax, scoring 25 goals. Dusan Tadic got a 7.80 average rating alongside 20 assists. In the UEFA Champions League, we got knocked out in the quarter-final by Paris Saint-Germain, but we did beat Manchester United on the way, which is a huge achievement. In the Toto Becker Cup, we also did win that, so we did the national double, we won the league, we won the national cup. Sebastian Haller has been firing in all cylinders. But in the Eredivisie, if we check the team's stats, we can see that Ajax got the most goals. We managed to score 89 goals. We got 2.68 points per game. We took the most shots as well, 687. We had the fewest shots against us, just 160. We had the best pass completion in the league, which I find very important to this replication, 91% pass completion, alongside a 62% average possession, which again is a very important stat when it comes to replicating this Ajax side. The top goal scorer in the league was Sebastian Haller with 25 goals. David Neres managed to get 21, whilst Dusan Tadic got 15. Most assists, Dusan Tadic with 20. We got most shots as well, Sebastian Haller with 231. Dusan Tadic with the most man of the match awards, 9. Tagliafico with 6 and Sebastian Haller with 5, Most key passes, Dusan Tadic with 165. Best pass completion, Lisandro Martinez with 96%, Tagliafico with 94%. Most clean sheets, Martin Stekelenburg because of Onana's ban, but Stekelenburg got 22 clean sheets and he conceded the fewest. But that wraps up this video. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. I know this was a very long video, but I enjoyed recording this video for you guys. And don't forget, if you are new or you haven't yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to leave a comment or any recommendations you may have. Don't forget to stay safe. I will see you soon. Peace out and enjoy.